Tonight in Love Live at 6, High Court rules that Charlton Roches was unlawfully retired from the Belize Defense Force. At long last, water has been found in Halacte in Toledo. The Prime Minister meets with the United States Deputy Secretary of State. BNTU President Nadia Callis responds after a grieving daughter claims her late mother was denied union benefits. Belize moves closer to stronger tobacco control legislation as the Ministry of Health meets with PAHO to discuss public awareness, taxation and enforcement. 2 missing nationality certificates remain unaccounted for at the Immigration Department, and Belize Coast Guard personnel sharpened their small boat and patrol skills during specialized training with the U.S. Coast Guard. Stay tuned for those stories and more in tonight's newscast.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I hear they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God Builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
Introducing GrowWatt, a global leader in distributed energy solutions, delivering innovative solar technology trusted around the world. Engineered for reliability, designed for sustainability, built to power every scenario, powering homes, empowering businesses, creating a smarter energy future for Belize. For residential hybrid systems that maximize energy independence, to homes across Belize benefiting from smarter, more efficient power management. GrowWatt off-grid solar storage solutions bring dependable electricity to locations beyond the traditional power grid, providing clean, reliable energy whenever and wherever it is needed. For businesses, GrowWatt delivers powerful commercial and industrial energy solutions that help reduce operating costs while improving energy security, including proven installations right here in Belize, helping businesses operate efficiently with dependable solar energy systems. As transportation evolves, GrowWatt EV charging solutions help power the future with clean energy. Need power on the move? GrowWatt portable solar power solutions provide flexible energy for construction sites, events, emergency applications, and temporary installations. GrowWatt delivers energy-smart solutions for a greener future. Distributed in Belize by Llano Supplies, 112 Ranchita Village, Corozal Town.
Cada conexión es más que solo una señal, es un estudiante abriendo las puertas a su futuro a través de la educación digital. Una mente joven atreviéndose a soñar en grande. Nuestra cultura compartida con el mundo en tiempo real. Y héroes cotidianos respondiendo al llamado del deber cívico. Cuando nos conectamos con Digi, empoderamos a Belice.
Before our grid reached across Belize, it was built by generations of Belizeans committed to connecting communities and powering progress. Through the hands, the dedication, and the vision of our people, the grid grew with Belize. A nation built through strength and resilience, and a network built pole by pole Today, that responsibility continues, strengthened by every hand that follows, each generation building on the last and carrying forward a shared responsibility, serving communities, powering schools, hospitals, businesses, and homes, supporting a nation that continues to grow. Belize Electricity Limited, built to serve, serving Belize.
Pelican is more than just brewed in Belize. It's made of Belize. And being made of Belize means being authentic, unique, and proud. This is what that looks like. Pelican, the beer of Belize. There are many stories to be shared about what it means to be made of Belize. Join Pelican in celebrating our Belizean heritage by sharing your unique story. A few of these stories will be selected to be produced into Pelican Made of Belize videos. Those chosen will receive Pelican beer for a year and will be invited to join us during production. Let's tell the stories of what it means to be made of Belize. Please send us a WhatsApp message at 630-6519 or email us at madeofbelize@skz.bz.
Ready, set, paddle into an unforgettable showdown along the Placencia Peninsula, the Battle of the Paddles 2026. On Sunday, August 2nd, the tranquil southern waters erupt with excitement as paddles are put to water in one of Belize's most unique water sport competitions. Starting at 8 a.m., competitors take part in one of 4 incredible races. A challenging 20-mile canoe race and a 10-mile sea kayak race through the Placencia Lagoon, alongside a dynamic 3.5-mile sit-on-top kayak race and a 1.7-mile paddleboard race around Placencia Key, all starting and finishing at the Placencia Municipal Dock. Feel the excitement as every stroke transforms the Placencia waters into the ultimate water sport battleground. Battle of the Paddles 2026, Sunday, August 2nd.
Battle of the Paddle sponsors are Barefoot Services, Crocodile Research Coalition, Placencia Village Council, WWF, World Wildlife Fund, Sandy Cove BZ Tours, Belize Tourism Board, Umaya Resort, Blue Reef Beach and Marina, Southern Environmental Association, Hidden Valley Wilderness Lodge, Reiki and Island Resort, Caves Branch Adventure and Jungle Lodge, Miramar Suites, a Belizean Nirvana, Gecko Property Management, Top Value Supermarket, Maya World Destinations, Captain Jack's, Belsin Decorative Concrete Solutions, Seahorse Dive Shop, Balam Golf, Kareem Gordon on behalf of Mango Creek, M&M Hardware and Service Station, Flowers Vacation Rentals, Primus Villas, Isiana Resort and Residences, 501 Trucking, Ziki Rental Agency, Wendy's Restaurant, Barefoot Bar, Maya Beach Hotel, PAC Protected Area Conservation Trust, and Love FM.
Taste Taste of Belize is back after a spectacular return last year. Belize's signature culinary and bartending showdown is coming. On Saturday, August 1st, starting at 8 a.m., head to the St. Catherine Academy Mercy Center in Belize City for a full day of competition, culture, and celebration. Cheer on your favorite chefs, pastry chefs, and bartenders as they compete for grand prizes. Take part in fun and interactive culinary masterclasses and savor the flavors that make Belize unique. Get your tickets today via QuickPass or at the BTB office on Regent Street. Taste of Belize 2026. Celebrating and inspiring Belize through food, drink, culture, education, and competition. Brought to you by the Belize Tourism Board.
Once again, good evening. Welcome to the evening news here on Love Television for today, the 24th day of July 2026. I am Ernesto Vasquez. The High Court ruled that Lieutenant Colonel Charlton Roches was unlawfully forced to retire from the Belize Defense Force at the age of 45, a ruling that came despite his previous entanglement in a series of internal military allegations involving German army training, his private company, and the alleged unauthorized use of BDF resources. Roches brought their claim against the Belize Defense Force and the Attorney General after he was discharged on June 1, 2022, his 45th birthday, arguing that amendments introduced in 2016 had increased the mandatory retirement age for a lieutenant colonel from 45 to 50. Government disputed that interpretation, claiming that officers who were already serving before the amendments remained subject to the previous retirement age. Justice Patricia Farnese rejected that position, describing the government's interpretation as entirely unpersuasive. The judge found that the amended law allowed officers serving before 2016 to retire at the earlier age if they chose to do so. It did not require them to leave the force at 45. The court consequently found that Roches' retirement was unlawful. But Roches' years in the BDF were not without controversy. Documents reviewed by Love News show that he faced 4 internal military charges in 2018 relating to jungle training conducted for German military personnel. One charge alleged that Roches disobeyed a lawful command by failing to hand over documents connected to the German jungle training program between December 2017 and January 2018. Other charges allege that between May 2013 and May 2017, Roches used his private company, Belize Jungle Experience Limited, to provide an adventure package to members of the German Army, while serving as the BDF's liaison officer to the German military. The charge sheets further allege that government property, premises, labor and services were used for the venture without authorization from the Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of National Security. Roches was also accused of participating directly in business transactions involving the company without permission from the commander of the BDF. The allegations resulted in charges of disobeying a lawful command, 2 counts of disobeying standing orders, and conduct prejudicial to good order and military discipline. Personal bank statements covering portions of the period from 2012 to 2017 were also included among the records reviewed. Those statements, however, do not by themselves prove misconduct, and the documents provided to Love News do not establish whether Roches was convicted, acquitted, or otherwise cleared of the military charges. Notably, the High Court judgment stated that it had been presented with no evidence suggesting that those previous controversies or anything other than the enforcement of the disputed retirement age were behind the decision not to allow Roches to continue serving. Before his retirement, Roches had applied to the BDF for an additional 5 years of service, but his request was denied. He later sought declarations that his discharge was unlawful, along with damages for lost salary, benefits, and opportunities. While the court agreed that the retirement was unlawful, it did not award Roches damages or order his reinstatement. Justice Farnese determined that the matter was properly acclaimed for judicial review and that Roches first had to exhaust the available administrative process. The case was therefore sent to the Security Services Commission to determine the appropriate redress for his unlawful retirement. Roches was also permitted to amend, withdraw, or refile his appeal to the Commission in light of the court's ruling. No order for costs was made, with the judge noting that both sides had achieved mixed success. A potentially significant breakthrough has been made in Halacte village in the Toledo district, where a drilling team has struck water after several days of intensive work. Halacte is among the few remaining communities in Belize without access to potable rural water systems. Residents currently depend on a small number of hand pumps, which often run dry during the dry season, leaving families with an unreliable supply. Charles Galvez, Director of Rural Development, confirmed that the drilling team reached an underground water source. He stressed, however, that finding water is only the first step. Pump testing must now be conducted to determine the well's production capacity and long-term sustainability, while water quality tests will establish whether the supply is safe for human consumption.
Yes, the Ministry of Rural Transformation has long before my time, meaning I started the ministry in October of 2021, and I know before I started there had been much more effort, or what should I say, multiple other efforts, drilling, trying to find a source of water for the community of Halacte, which is pretty much a large community, considered one of the larger rural communities in Toledo. Now, a year or two ago, we had procured a geo-resistivity equipment, which helps us to find and identify locations or sites that our success would be higher, success rate, which helps us to be more time efficient and cost effective. So we carry out some tests with our team from MRT, and we identified this area which we thought would have been the most suitable area to drill based on our findings. All right, what happened over the past month, we've been on the ground. One of our rig teams has been on the ground in Halacte drilling, and at that same site, same location. Now, people who will know Toledo and the soil formation and the fact that in that area there's a lot of underground caves, caverns, would know that it's challenging when you're working in those type of terrain and soil formation. So what we had to do, we had to basically plan properly. Therefore, the drilling technique and methods that we use is not basic. It was a tedious process.
If the water source meets the necessary production and water quality standards, officials will then move towards establishing a basic rural water system in the village. Galvez explains that even a rudimentary system would provide a more reliable supply to hundreds of Halacte residents and reduce the community's dependence on hand pumps, particularly during prolonged dry conditions.
Looking at almost 800 residents between Halacte and the other little smaller areas around Halacte, possibly inclusive of the customs and immigration and Baja staff who are at that checkpoint as well, and the police security, because the community and these people there are working, representing our government and working in our interests suffer when dry season. We have to truck in water multiple times during dry season because the hand pump wells in the community of Halacte run dry during the dry season. So we have to truck, which is very costly. Now, once this well passes the tests, then what we will do, we'll be adding this committee to our next submission, where we'll be identifying funding agencies and funds, whether it be through the Curriculum Development Fund, whether it be through the CDB, whether it be through the Adaptation Fund. We will be identifying funds to for the construction of a water system, as we already recently we carried out a full technical assessment of the area and what is required and what it's going to cost to put in a full rudimentary water system for the community.
Moving on, Prime Minister John Briceño met with the United States Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau in Washington, D.C. yesterday for discussions on security, economic cooperation and bilateral relations. According to the U.S. Department of State, both officials expressed appreciation for the existing cooperation between Belize and the United States on issues affecting the national security and economic interests of both countries. The talks included opportunities to advance the bilateral partnership through Belize's compact with the Millennium Challenge Corporation of U.S. $125 million agreement intended to support projects in Belize's education and energy sectors. Prime Briceño and Deputy Secretary Landau also discussed security cooperation against narco-trafficking and illegal migration, as well as efforts to strengthen trade and commercial ties. The U.S. statement did not provide details on any new commitments, agreements, or timelines resulting from the meeting. However, the discussions reaffirmed the two countries' intention to continue cooperating on shared security and economic priorities. In other news, the Belize National Teachers Union President Nadia Callis has addressed two issues generating discussion within the union: a grieving daughter's claim that her late mother was denied union benefits and a proposal to double monthly membership dues. Irani A. Carballo says her mother, Eda Carballo, served as a teacher for 37 years and contributed to the BNTU for approximately 25 of those years. According to Carballo, her mother later developed kidney failure and underwent dialysis. After retiring, she was unable to continue paying union dues during the final 3 years of her life. Carballo alleges that when she contacted the BNTU following her mother's death, she was informed that Eda's membership had lapsed and the family was therefore not entitled to benefits. She says she offered to settle the outstanding dues, but was reportedly told that her mother was no longer considered a member. She claims also that messages sent to Callis were seen but went unanswered. Carballo questioned why the union observed a moment of silence for her mother at its convention, but according to her, did not contact the family to offer condolences. The daughter argues that her mother's 25 years of contributions and commitment to the union should not have been erased because illness prevented her from paying dues during the final 3 years of her life. Callis has now responded to the allegations, explaining the union's position.
I first need to say this, both to the relative and to the public, because the situation is in the public domain, is that you receive the response, an accurate response from your branch leaders in Orange Walk, and they were correct. The BNTU debt claim is what you call a contributory benefit. The member has to be current with his or her payment in order for the member to claim. Constitutionally, that is how the BNTU is set up. I don't have the legal authority to go and give you any benefit, any at all. So when the branch members made it clear that they communicated with you, and they too now have produced screenshots of those conversations, I am not going to put it out there in the public domain because we're not at war with each other. I just want you to know that I'm very happy that you did what you did, because it sheds light on what, as the current leader of the BNTU, under my leadership, what I am trying to change. We have multiple situations of this nature. Our retired members have contributed to this organization, and once they don't pay the $54 annually, then they lose all benefits. The debt claim is $2 a month, $24 a year. I have been a part of this union for 33 years. And when you calculate my $2 times 12 times 33, I have paid $724. But the benefit is $3,000. So I get far more than what I invest into the fund. But once you stop paying, you lose that benefit.
As it relates to union fees, the Upcoming increases will take effect in September. The controversy comes as a proposal circulating among BNTU members seeks to increase total monthly union deductions from $20 to $40 effective September of this year. Retired members would be required to contribute $60 annually. Under the proposal, the monthly contribution to the Death Benefit Fund would increase from $2 to $8. The branch allocation would rise from $5.60 to $7, while the national allocation would increase from $8.40 to $10. The strike fund contribution would move from $1 to $3. New monthly allocations of $2 for professional fees and $8 for conventions would also be introduced, while the building fund contribution would increase from $3 to $2. According to Callis, the new fee structure will allow for enhanced benefits resulting from the increase would be implemented within 1 year of the vested period.
And those of you who have been to every conventions, you will remember that this member, Nadia Callis, not as your president, as a member, have been rallying, putting forward resolutions for there to be what you call a payout. If the member decides to retire and not be a part of the organization, then there's a benefit that the member should be given. Each time that resolution has been struck down. So now, under my leadership as the president of this organization, and those who attended the branch meetings and the convention can attest to this, there is a proposal that has been voted on for an increase in dues, and attached to that is an increase in death benefit and a 3 to 5 year benefit package attached to you after retirement. And so you don't need to come forward and make that monthly contribution because of situations like these. If you're from the South, you'll remember Mr. Mario Gonzalez every year, Mr. Mario Gonzalez, he would pay his $54 religiously. And when Mr. Mario fell ill, no payments were made. When Mr. Mario died, his family came forward, and I felt bad as a leader. I felt real bad as a leader. Because we don't really follow up like that at the branch level. It's from the national office. And from the national level, we don't follow up either. So under my leadership, we have constructed a database that allows for us to track our members. And that's why right now we're putting in the information as it pertains to their contribution. And it is through that system that we'll be alerted of those who are retired, those who are not paying, for us to follow up and check.
The proposed doubling of monthly dues is already creating concern among some teachers who are questioning the timing of the increase and seeking details about the enhanced benefits members would receive. The Ministry of Health and Wellness continued discussions with a visiting Pan American Health Organization Contrimission on advancing Belize's proposed tobacco control bill. The meeting was held on Monday, included Minister of Health and Wellness Kevin Bernard and members of the ministry's management team. Discussions focused on increasing public awareness of the proposed legislation examining tobacco taxation and strengthening Belize's capacity to enforce the measures if the bill becomes law. The talks also considered the technical and institutional support that may be required during implementation. The proposed legislation is expected to form part of Belize's wider effort to reduce tobacco use and exposure to tobacco-related harm. The minister says it remains committed to working with PAHO and other partners to identify the necessary support and determine the next steps towards the eventual adoption and implementation of the Tobacco Control Bill. In August last year, Cabinet had given its approval to the bill, which went to the House of Representatives in February. The bill seeks to regulate the sale, packaging, marketing, and use of tobacco across the country. Government has teamed up with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, to look at the regional policies and practices regarding smoking. According to Dr. Andre Chell, Director of Policy, Planning and Research, the banning indoor smoking would help to address various health issues in the country. And more than 2 months after discrepancies were discovered at the Immigration Department's Belmopan office Two official nationality certificates remain unaccounted for. The matter was first reported by Love News in May, after the ministry confirmed that an internal review had identified two missing certificates bearing specific serial numbers. At the time, the investigators had not determined whether the documents were misprinted, misplaced, or stolen. Immigration Minister Karim Musa had explained that the ministry was reviewing its records dating back to October 2025, when the batch containing the certificates was opened. The review was intended to determine whether either document had been used to obtain a Belizean passport. At the time, the ministry expressed intention to circulate the serial numbers locally and through Interpol, because of concerns that the certificates could potentially be used in Belize or abroad. Musa had said that any passport obtained through the unauthorized use of the documents would be cancelled. Minister Musa has now provided an update confirming that the two certificates have still not been located and outlined the status of the investigation.
Those have not been located as yet. Like I mentioned a few months ago, we did place them on Interpol notice, red notice for them, and so we have not come across them as yet, but as soon as we do, I will give you an update.
Nationality certificates are sensitive government documents because they establish a person's status as a Belizean citizen and may be used when applying for a passport or accessing other official services. The Belize Coast Guard has completed another round of specialized training with the United States Coast Guard, further strengthening the operational capabilities of its maritime personnel. The two-week small boat operations training concluded today at the Belize Coast Guard headquarters. It was facilitated by a U.S. Coast Guard mobile training team from the Yorktown Training Center in Virginia. The program combined classroom instruction with extensive exercises at sea, allowing participants to improve their knowledge, confidence, and practical skills in small boat handling and patrol operations. The training concluded with a realistic exercise in which Coast Guard personnel were required to plan and execute patrols, transfer personnel safely between vessels, and respond to simulated mechanical problems. According to the Belize Coast Guard, the final exercise allowed participants to demonstrate the technical skills, teamwork, and sound judgment developed throughout the two-week program. The Coast Guard says the training reflects its long-standing partnership with the United States Coast Guard and its continued commitment to capacity building, operational readiness, and professional excellence. Don't go away, stay with us, please. We'll be back with more news following this commercial break.
No one should be up at this time. If you're still up, it's not you, it's your mattress. Because the right mattress changes everything. Sherwood Bedding Luxury Resort Pillow Top Mattress. Sleep better, wake better. Available at Design Depot. All in one place.
People, not businesses, power the economy. And they deserve to be acknowledged, appreciated, and compensated for their efforts. Because when your people are successful, so is your business. Neo People, simplify your HR and payroll needs with one powerful solution.
Commercial Cleaning and Products of Belize, CCP. formerly known as Carpet Care Plus, offers a wide variety of professional restorative cleaning services and products in Belize. With over 20 years of experience in the industry, our mission has always been to provide our customers with the best products and services for quality, safe, and environmentally friendly cleaning. What separates us from the rest? The services we offer. Fabric cleaning for all types of carpets, upholstery, walls, and drapes. Vehicle detailing for both the interior and exterior. Total restorative cleaning of ceramic and porcelain tiles for floors, walls, marble, granite, limestone, travertine, clay, and more. Degreasing and polishing of the entire kitchen and all its equipment. Also custom concrete designs. We are a supplier of the most cost-efficient and economically viable products when you buy our specialized super concentrated formulas, such as cleaners, disinfectants, deodorizers, and sanitizers. Additionally, we also carry professional cleaning equipment, such as mops, buckets, vacuums, doormats, and window equipment, which are very durable and practical. You can order any of our products online at www.ccpbelize.com. CCP Belize uses only trained technicians, professional commercialized equipment, and EPA certified products. Our products are 100% biodegradable. We also have certified green products, which are used by Green Globe approved companies. Visit us at 68 North Front Street, Belize City, or contact us at telephone 223-1820. Email us info@ccpbelize.com.
Ready, set, paddle into an unforgettable showdown along the Placencia Peninsula, the Battle of the Paddles 2026. On Sunday, August 2nd, the tranquil southern waters erupt with excitement as paddles are put to water in one of Belize's most unique water sport competitions. Starting at 8 a.m., competitors take part in one of 4 incredible races. A challenging 20-mile canoe race and a 10-mile sea kayak race through the Placencia Lagoon, alongside a dynamic 3.5-mile sit-on-top kayak race and a 1.7-mile paddleboard race around Placencia Key, all starting and finishing at the Placencia Municipal Dock. Feel the excitement as every stroke transforms the Placencia waters into the ultimate water sport battleground. Battle of the Paddles 2026, Sunday, August 2nd.
Battle of the Paddle sponsors are Barefoot Services, Crocodile Research Coalition, Placencia Village Council, WWF, World Wildlife Fund, Sandy Cove BZ Tours, Belize Tourism Board, Umaya Resort, Blue Reef Beach and Marina, Southern Environmental Association, Hidden Valley Wilderness Lodge, Reiki and Island Resort, Caves Branch Adventure and Jungle Lodge, Miramar Suites, a Belizean Nirvana, Gecko Property Management, Top Value Supermarket, Maya World Destinations, Captain Jack's, Belsin Decorative Concrete Solutions, Seahorse Dive Shop, Balam Golf, Kareem Gordon on behalf of Mango Creek, M&M Hardware and Service Station, Flowers Vacation Rentals, Primus Villas, Isiana Resort and Residences, 501 Trucking, Ziki Rental Agency, Wendy's Restaurant, Barefoot Bar, Maya Beach Hotel, PAC Protected Area Conservation Trust, and Love FM.
Back to School 2026 with the Angelus Press is here, and this year is bigger and better. We're talking unbelievable deals all summer long. Starting June 15, stock up on all your school essentials.
New notebooks? Check. Fresh backpacks? Check. Prices that make you smile? Double check.
Mommy, I want my new Samsonite backpack.
That's right. Samsonite still offers a sweet 1-year warranty. And hey, you even get a free merch with purchase while supplies last. Stay in the loop by following the Angelus Press on social media. Every Friday during our back-to-school season, look out for our jaw-dropping This Stuff for Real deals.
So before you shop, make sure you follow
The Angelus Press, your back-to-school headquarters all summer long. The Angelus Press and the Love Foundation, transforming lives with love.
is calling for change, and the future is in her hands. Meet our 4 incredible delegates competing for the crown of Miss Earth Belize 2026. Join us for the national pageant on August 8, 2026 at the Belize City Civic Center. Tickets, general admission $10, VIP $100, and ultra VIP tables $1,000. Seating for 5, wine and charcuterie included.
Tickets will be available for purchase at all Pink Boutique locations, Onyx Beauty Lounge, and Medisco.
Be a part of the movement. Beauty for a cause. Miss Earth Belize 2026.
Welcome back. You're live with the news here on Love Television. Stoney Ferguson, the son of Agriculture Minister Rodwell Ferguson, was charged yesterday with aggravated assault and using insulting words against police officers following an incident in the Placencia Peninsula in the Sand Creek district. Up to news time, Ferguson's anticipated court appearance was still pending. The incident reportedly began at around 5:15 on Saturday evening at a vehicle checkpoint near mile 22 on the Placencia main road. Police officers attempted to stop a white cargo truck because it was being driven without a license plate and the driver was reportedly not wearing a seatbelt. According to police account, the driver initially pulled away but was later located on Crimson 2 Drive. Officers informed him of the alleged traffic violations and cautioned him, but police claim he became verbally abusive, resisted arrest and pushed an officer. Ferguson was reportedly subdued and taken to the police station where he was later released. Police say that shortly after his release, he picked up a large stone and threw it at an officer. The stone missed the officer but damaged the vehicle significantly. He allegedly attempted to throw another stone but was stopped. The value of the damage to the police vehicle has not been disclosed. It is also unclear whether any additional charges relating to the damaged vehicle is being contemplated. Justice Candice Nanton has reserved her decision in the murder and attempted murder trial of 5 San Pedro men accused of carrying out a deadly attack at sea nearly 5 years ago. The 5 defendants are Gabriel Villafranco, 39, Carlos Salazar, 35, Delcin Paguada, 27, and brothers Sergio Tun, 41, and Pedro Tun, 27. They are jointly charged with the murder of Jerry Espat and 3 counts of attempted murder arising from an alleged attack on Espat and his 3 brothers, which occurred on October 2nd of 2021. The trial began before Justice Nanton in December 2025, reached the close of the defense case yesterday. 4 of the accused remain free on bail pending the verdict, while the 5th is reportedly on remand. The court has established a timetable for written closing submissions. Attorneys for defendants 1 and 3 must submit their arguments by August 17, after which the prosecution has until August 31 to respond. For defendants 2, 4, and 5, the prosecution must file its submissions by August 17, with the defense given until August 31 to reply. Justice Nanton is scheduled to deliver her verdict at 1 p.m. on September 18 in the High Court. The prosecution alleges that Espat and his 3 brothers were fishing and diving for conch near Congrejo Key, approximately 20 minutes from San Pedro, when they came under attack from men traveling in 2 boats. According to the Crown's case, 2 of the brothers were near their boat when a red and white vessel approached from behind. The occupants were identified as Paguada and the Tun brothers. Paguada is accused of producing a firearm and opening fire while allegedly making a threatening remark. One of the brothers managed to climb into the fishing boat while another man aboard was shot to the foot. The brothers then sped towards San Pedro as their attackers pursued them and continued firing. 2 other brothers remained in the water and allegedly encountered a second boat carrying another group of men. The prosecution alleges that shots were fired from that vessel, striking Jerry Espat several times. Another brother escaped being shot by diving beneath the water. That brother alleged that Villafranco and Carlos Salazar later attempted to pull him into their boat and attacked him with a machete, and he resisted. That confrontation lasted several minutes, ended when another person approached the fishing area, prompting the attackers to leave. Jerry Spat died following the shooting, and his body was recovered the next morning. One of his brothers, who survived the initial attack, died approximately 6 months later. His death reportedly linked to complications after inhaling water during the ordeal. However, the 5 defendants are being tried for 1 count of murder relating to Jerry's death and 3 counts of attempted murder involving his brothers. Before his death, the second brother gave police a statement describing the attack. Justice Nanton allowed that statement to be admitted into evidence during the trial. Prosecutors contend that it supports the accounts given by the 2 surviving brothers. Villafranco is represented by attorney Marcel Cardona, while Dr. Lyndon Jones represents Salazar. Oscar Salgado represents Paguada, and attorney Leroy Banner represents Sergio and Pedro Tun. The court ruling is expected on the 18th of September. And in police news, Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado, accompanied by the police management team, recently met with officers assigned to Division 2 at the Queen Street Police Station. Meeting included Deputy Commissioners Sandra Bowden, Alden Dawson and Alfred Greenwich, along with Eastern Regional Commander, Assistant Commissioner Raymond Reyes. The Deputy Commissioners emphasized the importance of effective supervision in improving accountability, professionalism and service delivery. Officers were also encouraged to remain active in preventing and deterring crime within the communities. Rosado commended the officers for their work, but reminded them that professional standards require both institutional support and individual responsibility. He said that while the department has an obligation to address officers' welfare, each officer remains responsible for his or her attitude and conduct. The session also allowed officers to raise concerns and provide feedback about their duties and working conditions. According to the department, discussions focused on practical measures that could improve the workplace and help officers perform more effectively. Details of the specific concerns raised or proposed solutions were not disclosed. The meeting concluded with Police Constable Ball of Precinct 3 receiving an award for recording the highest number of arrests within his relief. While the recognition highlighted enforcement activity, the department did not provide details on the nature of the arrests or whether the cases resulted in charges or convictions. And police also continued the community engagement in the Stan Creek district. Earlier today, Deputy Officer Commanding the Hopkins Police Substation, Inspector Brian Miller, led officers from Hopkins and City River in a meet and greet session in City River Village. The residents were invited to discuss concerns and recommend ways to improve safety and communication with the law enforcement. A similar exercise was held today in Dangriga's Lakeland area. That outreach involved Officer Commanding the Stan Creek Police Formation, Assistant Superintendent Carrillo, Deputy Officer Commanding Inspector Alvarez, and personnel from the staff, Traffic Quick Response Team, and the prosecution units. The residents reportedly welcomed the police presence, but called for increased foot patrols and more frequent patrols throughout the day. Their feedback suggests that while the outreach sessions are being positively received, communities are also looking for those engagements to be followed by a consistent and visible operational presence. The initiative forms part of the department's community policing approach. The news will continue after this commercial break.
If this is an emergency situation, Please call 911 right away for immediate assistance. Do not use the Crime Stoppers program in an emergency situation. Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. Remember, the more information you give the officers, the more likely it is that we will be able to identify the suspect or confirm a crime has taken place. This ultimately helps when making arrests. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Never put yourself in danger to gather information. However, if you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Once you click Submit Tip, P3 will ask to send you notifications. You choose what's right for you. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Keep that info safe as you'll need it to check the status of your tip. Using the app, simply log back in using the PIN you created when you first opened it. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
No right. Garbage in the streets, creating dump sites, throwing the trash on the highway. We not fit do that. Only we could stop this. Each of we play an important part in protecting our beautiful country. This that we believe. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
Manholes play a critical role in keeping our sewage and drainage systems functioning properly. They allow our maintenance team to inspect, clean, and clear blockages. When covers are missing or compromised, the entire system and the public are placed at risk. Stealing or damaging manhole covers is a criminal offense and creates dangerous conditions on our streets and sidewalks. Motorists and drivers are reminded that it is an offense to park or drive on sidewalks. The weight of vehicles, large or small, can crack and dislodge manhole covers. In an ongoing effort to protect lives, property, and public infrastructure across Belize City, your Belize City Council continues its citywide manhole cover replacement program. Since the launch of this initiative, thousands of damaged or missing manhole covers have been replaced, improving safety, accessibility, and the overall appearance of our streets and sidewalks. Despite these strides, manhole covers continue to be stolen or damaged, creating serious risks for pedestrians and motorists, including severe injuries, traffic incidents, and damage to personal property. If you see a manhole cover that is broken, missing, or unsafe, report it immediately. Take a photo and share the location with us via WhatsApp at 673-9055 or by calling 227-2308. Remember, maintaining manhole covers requires a shared responsibility. Together, we can prevent accidents, protect public infrastructure, and keep Belize City safe for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Welcome back as we continue with the evening news here on Love Television. 23 residents of San Antonio and Santa Cruz villages in the Orange Walk district are now trained to assist their communities during disasters and other emergencies. The residents graduated yesterday evening in Santa Cruz village after completing the National Emergency Management Organization's Second Community Emergency Response Team or CERT training program. The cohort included 10 participants from San Antonio and 13 from Santa Cruz. The program prepares community volunteers to provide immediate assistance before professional emergency responders arrive. The participants receive practical training in disaster preparedness, basic first aid, fire safety, light search and rescue, emergency communications, damage assessments, and the coordination of community response efforts. NEMA says the training will allow the graduates to support their families, neighbors, and first responders during the emergencies while strengthening the overall resilience of their villages. Each graduate received a personal emergency response kit to assist in carrying out duties as a CERT member. The San Antonio and Santa Cruz Village Councils were also provided with emergency equipment, strengthening their ability to coordinate local disaster response efforts. The program was carried out by NEMO with technical support from the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency through the Building of Resilience of CARIFORUM States to Disaster Risk and Climate Change Impacts, or BRICS program, financed by the European Union under the 11th European Development Fund. Belizean swimmer Davia Richardson has opened her campaign at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, with a new personal best performance in the women's 50-meter butterfly. Richardson, who turned 18 last week, finished second in her preliminary heat this morning, touching the wall in 28.86 seconds. The time was 0.08 of a second faster than her previous long course best of 28.94 seconds, recorded in Jamaica in December of 2023. Her performance placed her 30th overall among the competitors. While the result was not fast enough to advance her to the semifinals, it worked and marked a positive start for the young Belizean against swimmers from some of the Commonwealth's leading aquatic nations. The Belize Olympic and Commonwealth Games Association congratulated Richardson, describing the swim as a fantastic start to the Games, encouraging her to continue making Belize proud. Richardson is already one of Belize's most accomplished young swimmers. At the 2025 World Aquatics Championship in Singapore, she won her heat of the women's 100-meter butterfly in a then personal best time of a minute, that is 4.29 seconds. She also enjoyed an impressive showing at the 2025 ASAT Invitational Age Group Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, where she collected 4 gold medals, 2 silver and 1 bronze, to emerge as the overall girls 15 and over champion. Richardson is scheduled to return to the pool for the women's 100-meter freestyle and 100-meter butterfly events. The swimming competition is held at the Tollcross International Swimming Centre. The Glasgow Games, which officially opened yesterday, bring together more than 3,000 athletes from 74 Commonwealth nations and territories, competing across 10 sports and 6 para-sports. The Cayo Central's Youth in Agriculture Summer Camp concluded today at Central Farm following a week of practical training designed to introduce young people to farming and food production. Throughout the program, participants gained hands-on experience in crop production, livestock management, aquaculture, and agro-processing. The program sought to help young Belizeans better understand where their food comes from, while teaching skills that can support greater self-sufficiency and future careers in agriculture. Cayo Central Area Rep Alex Balona says the program is also intended to address the need for succession within the farming sector, explaining that as experienced farmers grow older, young people must be encouraged to acquire the knowledge and skills needed to continue producing food, sustaining the industry.
When a public officer retires, somebody young is hired to take over, and in many other instances. But when a farmer passes away or he cannot no longer farm, then nobody else takes over. And there is a huge need for us to have young farmers to take over. But unfortunately, our young people are not inclined into farming. So we want to wake up the interest of our young people from the primary school level, and that's the reason why I decided that we need to do this from the primary school level and sensitize the children so that by the time they get into high school and tertiary level, they have already awakened their interest in agriculture, because we need to be self-sustainable as a country. We were catering for 100, but as I mentioned earlier, we have 116 participated at the end of the week, and their age range is from 10 to 14, and most of our children are from Santa Elena town. We have from Cristo Rey, San Antonio, El Progreso, Georgeville, and Central Farm, which are communities in the Cayo Central constituency. We are encouraging our other area representatives to collaborate with us, and like I said, as a ministry, we are prepared to go and do these summer camps for the other districts. In Orange Walk, the former area representative, the former Minister of Agriculture started his over there, and we had it again this year, and now we had in the Stan Creek district, and we are hoping that other area reps can request, and we as a ministry would be prepared to go and do these camps with them as well.
Two of the young participants reflected on the knowledge and practical experience they gained.
I learned about sheeps, tilapias, bees, and planting and factory.
And do you see yourself wanting to pursue a career in farming?
Yes, I like to go to the farm, and I want to grow in the farm and provide foods for the city.
So I have a garden at my home, and I want to improve it, like make it better, because we want more vegetables and stuff like that. And I also wanted to learn and make friends. I learned about bees, I learned about cows and sheep and goat. I learned how to plant, which will really help me with the garden. I learned how to cook, which will help me to help my mom sometimes, because she really works hard.
Well, the program ended with a certificate distribution ceremony recognizing the participants' completion of the training, and each child also received a backpack containing essential school supplies. With that good news, we end today's edition of the Evening News here on Love Live at 6. We thank you for choosing us and being with us, and we'll be back with another in the same next Monday night, same time, same place. Thanks again for choosing us. Stay with us right now. The latest weather news is coming up. And to keep up with the news over the weekend, you can tune into our sister radio station, Love FM, for news, music, and information 24/7. Thanks again. I'd like to thank Gregorio Canelo and Giovanni Castro, those who are behind the camera and behind the switcher, and the crew in the newsroom putting it all together on a daily basis. Thanks again, and especially to you. Have a good night. I am Ernesto Vasquez.
Good evening, Belize. A tropical wave is approaching the country and will support an increase in moisture and instability tomorrow. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for partly cloudy skies tonight with only isolated showers or isolated thunderstorms. Low temperatures tonight will be 81 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, to 74 inland and 68 in the higher elevations. Tomorrow will be mostly cloudy with some outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms to develop over most areas. High temperatures are expected to reach 85 degrees Fahrenheit along coastal areas, to 90 over inland and 80 over the mountains. The wind will blow from the east at 10 to 20 knots and the sea state will be choppy. A high tide will occur at 3 minutes past 8 tonight, a low at 2 minutes past midnight, a high at 6:29 a.m. and a low at 2:32 in the afternoon. The sun will set today at 6:28 and rise at 5:29 a.m. The moon will set at 1:55 tomorrow morning and comes up at 3:41 in the afternoon. The outlook for Saturday night through to Sunday is for cloudy skies with some outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms to develop mainly along coastal areas and over the south. In the tropical weather outlook, no tropical cyclone formation is expected near or over Belize and her coastal waters during the next 48 hours. And with that, we conclude your evening forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.